It's the strangest thing. There's Bernie Sanders, one of the leading Democrat candidates for nomination. And out of the blue, he goes and does something that no God-fearing American should ever do. He said something almost complimentary about China.
China is a country that is moving, unfortunately, in a more authoritarian way in a number of directions. But what we have to say about China, in fairness to China and its leadership, is, if I'm not mistaken, they have made more progress in addressing extreme poverty than any country in the history of civilization.
Bad Bernie. Good thing there are patriotic journalists, free media, and honest politicians to remind Bernie that it's not nice to say nice things about China.
It was seen as Bernie basically praising the Chinese Communist Party, which has probably killed more than any other regime on earth. Do you think this will be a problem for him going into the general election?
I think so. If he says this again, it was a wild way to answer that question.
Well, the Chinese socialists killed millions of poor people, so there's that. Dead people aren't poor, just dead. They called that the Great Leap Forward. And after that, they used the tool that Bernie despises, capitalism. I wish there was a visual metaphor for Bernie's argument. Just have to keep watching that. I don't know why.
Now, just to bring everyone up to speed, what Bernie meant is, near enough 40 years ago, about 9 out of every 10 people in China lived in poverty. 9 out of 10. Today, 2019, it's 1 in 100 people. 1 person in every 100. That's below the poverty line. Is it astounding? Yes. Is it a great news for 1 billion people? Yeah, but it's China. If we lived in a fair world, they'd send them a congratulation note and flowers. But we don't. If China does something bad, you raise hell about it. If it does something good, you very well ignore it. Oh, and Russia, don't forget.
Russia, if they want to join us on knocking out ISIS, that is just fine as far as I'm concerned.
Work together to beat a monstrous group that's killed untold thousands and sown terror worldwide. Work together, not if you're a God-fearing American.
Donald Trump believes that Russia is our great ally against ISIS in Syria. But what Russia is doing in Syria is setting up missiles that only shoot down planes, which ISIS does not have.
I think it's incredibly naive to think that Vladimir Putin would do anything in the U.S. best interest.
I think it may run among U.S. presidents, forgetting things, like when Jimmy Carter praised Hugo Chavez. Well, no, he didn't really praise him, but it's just too close.
We came to know a man who expressed a vision to bring profound changes to his country, to benefit especially those people who had felt neglected and marginalized.
And once again, the free media and patriots had to remind Mr. Carter that Chavez is bad, and Venezuela, together with China and Russia, Iran, maybe Turkey a little, North Korea definitely. Geez, Bernie, you better grab a pen. Them and more that are baddies. And even if they do what America does, you can't compare the two. Not because you actually can't compare them. It's entirely possible and even reasonable, but because just don't. As Trump found out when asked by a journalist about President Vladimir Putin being a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
Wrong answer. Well, it's technically right, but it's not what America wants to hear, as one patriotic American put it.
No, I don't think there's any equivalency. I do think America is exceptional. America is different. I think there's a clear distinction here.
And when you're exceptional, you don't have to make sense. You're just special. Now you go, Bernie, and it'll be quite so nice. You hear?